Chapter 7. More on Java. Learning Objectives. After studying this chapter, you will be able to discuss class and objects, learn the structure of the Java program, discuss the concept of BlueJ, explain how to open, create, and save programs in BlueJ. Class. A class or object is a way of combining all sorts of data that relates to a single thing in one place, and a way of associating functions with that data. For most intents and purposes, classes and objects are the same thing. It is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. It is a logical entity. It can't be physical. For example, you can consider human as a class. A car can be a class. So, let's say God made a class known as humans. Now, when He created you, you became a part of that class. Similarly, your friends and family are also a part of that class. Everything in the real world is categorized into some main categories. The main category is usually what you call classes in programming. Object. An entity that is a part of a class is known as an object. An object has some behavior and state. For example, you are a part of class human. That makes you an object of the human class. An object is what physically fills up the class. A class is just a blueprint, but an object is an actual implementation of that blueprint. For example, God created a blueprint, humans, which said that a human should have 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 ears, 1 mouth, and the ability to talk. This is class human. But when He created you, you were the actual implementation or result of His design of humans. So, you are an object of class human. Similarly, your friends and family are also objects of the class human. Let's take another example. A car is a road vehicle, typically with 4 wheels, powered by an internal combustion engine and able to carry a small number of people. Now, this is a blueprint of a car. Thus, a car is a class. Now, Maruti, Hyundai, and Ford made their own versions of cars. EcoSport, i20, and Brezza all have different designs and features, but at the end of the day, they are all categorized into cars. Thus, these different Ford and Hyundai cars are all objects of a parent class car. Software objects versus real-world objects. A real-world object is a physical body. On the other hand, a software object is an abstraction of a data entity used in a programming paradigm known as object-oriented programming. A software object is a logical representation of a real-world object and not a complete replica of it. For example, an employee of an organization, its software object can have properties like name, address, job, salary, and so on, but it cannot include every detail about that employee, like how many degrees his elbow can bend. In simple words, a software object tries to project itself as close as possible to the real-world object. That is how software is created. A software object has 3 characteristics. 1. State represents data value of an object. 2. Behavior represents the behavior functionality of an object such as deposit, withdrawal, etc. 3. Identity. Object identity is typically implemented via a unique ID. The value of the ID is not visible in the external user, but it is used internally by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. For example, your name, skin color, age, height, and weight are the features that define you and define your state. The tasks you perform, like talking, walking, and working, is your behavior. You have a unique ID number that identifies you uniquely all over the country. What is the relation between object and class? 1. Object is an instance of a class. 2. Class is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. 3. So, object is the instance result of a class. 4. In another way, you can say that objects are variables of type class. Properties. 1. A property, often also called as attribute, is a bit of data that describes something about the object. For example, humans have certain properties: skin color, height, weight, age, etc. 2. Properties can be any kind of data: a string, such as your name; a number, such as your age; a date, such as your birthday; an array, such as a list of your siblings; even another class, such as your car. It's an entirely different thing that you would explain with a different class, but since you own it, it's one of your properties. 3. States of an object are determined as data members of the class. 4. Behavior of an object is identified as the methods of the class. Message passing. The communication between objects of a class or between different classes is called message passing. This is achieved by the use of functions. You'll see what functions are in upcoming chapters. For example, you and your friend are objects of a common class known as humans. You both interact with each other using a language. This is called communication in real world. Similarly, in the software world, different objects and classes need to interact with each other. Let's demonstrate everything you have studied so far with a real-world example. You are given the task of designing a pet management system specifically meant for dogs. For this task, you need to model dogs, real-world entities, into software entity. For this, you'll need some information regarding dogs like breed, age, size, etc. Let's design this using the concepts of object-oriented programming you have studied. Task 1. Identify the class. Since you are designing a pet management system meant for dogs, our top category is dogs. Hence, the class for our system is dogs. Task 2. Identify the differences between different types of dogs out there. Some of the differences you must have listed are breed, size, age, color, and so on. These differences are also common characteristics. These characteristics can be used to define the states of objects in your class. Hence, they can be the data members of dogs class. Task 3. Identify the common actions for your objects. Some of the common actions for dogs can be eating, sleeping, running, sitting, and so on. These actions represent the behavior of dogs. Hence, they can be the methods of your class. You have a basic design ready for your pet management system. Class dogs, data members, breed, size, age, color. Methods: eat, sleep, run, sit. Different types of dogs will be the objects of your class. This was the general example of how to use concepts of object-oriented programming for real-world problems. Structure of Java program. A simple Java program consists of the following sections: documentation, package statement, import statement, interface statement, class definition, main method class, main method definition. Below is the structure of a simple Java program. /raised to power documentation section consists of comments which describe the behavior of the program. Raised to the power / package, package name, import, module name. Public class hello world / raised to the power main method class raised to the power / open curly bracket. Public static void main string args. Open curly bracket hello world my obj / raised to the power main method definition raised to the power / close curly bracket, close curly bracket. Comments in Java are written between / raised to the power, / Comments are just for understanding purposes and are ignored by the compiler. Let's look at the various parts used in the above program. Part, description. Documentation. This one is used mostly, tells about the objective of the program. Package. Packages are used to provide extra functionality to the program. Public class, class name. Public means visible to everyone. A class is created using the class keyword followed by the class name. Public static void main, string args. This is the main function from where the execution of a Java program starts. Hello world, my obj. This is how you create an object in Java. Syntax is class name, object name. Output statement in Java. To print or display any output in the screen in Java, the following syntax is used. System.out.println hello world. This system will display hello world on the output screen. Please note that whatever you write between the quotes, it will be printed as it is on the screen. Another example, system.out.println my name is John. Output, my name is John. Introduction to BlueJ. BlueJ is an integrated development environment IDE. This ICE is used to write Java programs and compile them as well. It is mainly used for educational purposes and also used in small-scale industries. BlueJ was developed to support the learning and teaching of object-oriented programming, and its design differs from other development environments as a result. The main screen graphically shows the class structure of an application under development in a UML-like diagram, and objects can be interactively created and tested. This interaction facility, combined with a clean, simple user interface, allows easy experimentation with objects under development. Object-oriented concepts, class, objects, communication through method calls are represented visually and in their interaction design in the interface. History. The development of BlueJ started way back in 1999. It was the idea of Lord Furey and John Rosenberg. BlueJ was an integrated system with its own programming language and environment and was a relative of the Eiffel language. No more. BlueJ implements the Blue environment design for the Java programming language. History time. In 2009, BlueJ became a free and open source software and got licensed under GNU GPL. Getting started with BlueJ. Starting BlueJ. Make sure BlueJ is installed in your Windows. Run BlueJ from Start menu. You will see the main screen of BlueJ. Opening a project. 1. Go to Project menu. 2. Choose New. 3. Give a name to the project. Creating a class. 1. In a project, on the left pane, you will see an option New Class. Click on it. 2. Choose class name as Hello. 3. Give a name to your class. 4. Click on the OK button. 5. A class box with your class name will be created. Double-click on it, an editor will open. Write your program in this editor. Creating an object. 1. To create an object of a particular class, right-click on that class box. 2. Choose option New Class Name. 3. A dialog box will appear. Give a name to your object and click OK. 4. Once the object has been created, it is placed on the object bench. Compiling your program. 1. To compile a class, click Compile button in Class Editor. 2. To compile your project, click on the Compile button on the left pane of your project. Executing. 1. To execute any object's method, right-click on the object from the object bench. 2. A drop-down list of methods will appear. Choose the one you want to execute. 3. A dialog box will appear after showing the result of execution. Let's recall. Classes and objects form the backbone of object-oriented programming. A class is a top-level category which form the parent of the entire software system. A class represents a blueprint of the system. Objects are instances of a class. They are the actual implementation of the blueprint. State of an object is called the data member of a class. Behavior of a class is called the method of a class. Different objects and classes communicate with each other using functions. This is called message passing. Documentation is used to tell the users what the program is all about. Comments in Java are inserted within /raised to the power /. Class keyword is used to create a class in Java. Main function is the method from where program execution begins. BlueJ is an IDE that is used to write and run Java programs.